everyone. So now that in the last video we had gone through all of the basic things, right? Now what I would do is that I would go and I would try to show like what is the difference between the files, like how you can move a file to Hadoop. So in this respect we have to understand like what happens in Hadoop, what is the difference in the Hadoop, right? The main difference is that see, when I'm trying to check the file system. This is suppose a Linux machine, right? And in that there will be folders like this, couple of multiple folders, multiple files, and all that stuff. And this is one machine. Like this is the machine in which I have Hadoop installed, right? This is one of the machines in I can say in number of machines which form that Hadoop cluster, right? So then the question is, if I have to run suppose a file, or I have to do a processing on a data, how do I do it, right? Like suppose I have to run something in the Hive and all those stuff, or I have to do something in Spark. Will I do keeping in a local machine? So there's a difference. This which file system you are seeing, this is a local file system, and this which you are seeing, like which we had showed here, right? If you remember in the last video, where while we went and we browsed all of the details, right here, this one is the Hadoop file system. So there is a quite a difference between both, right? So if we want to process a file in Hadoop, we have to first move the file from our local to the Hadoop system. It's like kind of a like a blanket, say it's throughout all the systems, it's there, right? So we have to move the file to our this Hadoop file system, right? So I would just show you, like last time also we had seen the file system and the structure which was similar. So we have to understand here there's a difference. See, this is user home, and this user home is of Hadoop, not of the local system. Might be underlying the file, say for example this create some file is there, right? Create table.hql. This can be in any system, this can be in the local, this can be in different. So I have to put the file in the Hadoop system for Hadoop to recognize it and process it. It's not that in the local it will process. So this is a very important concept which we need to understand. So what I'm going to do is to show the difference, right? See, suppose I have a couple of files here. There is an input file, right? So input.txt, this is the local system, right? And I would just right click and I would show you. So see, this is Cloudera, home Cloudera. This is a local, right? Now what I would do is I would go and I would try to move the file from, say, if I go to my Hadoop file system, there is no file which is like input, right? You can see in this there is nothing like an input. So what I will do is I will just go and place the file in this file system. So for that, what I will do, I will use the put command, Hadoop fs -put. Then this one is my local, and the next one is my Hadoop location where I want to put. So I will just run this, and I'm running it in my local command window, okay, in local terminal. So let's see, it will take a little bit of time. So we have to understand this difference which is there between this system and the local system and the Hadoop system, okay? So let it copy. It's taking a little bit of time. So what we have to do is I'll just go and okay, I will just So now what happens is that, see, once our command is completed, right, we go and we check in our Hadoop file system that whether the file is there, and this is what we find because it was copying. That's why I think name was like dot underscore copying. So here it is refreshed. Now I can go, I can see I can see today's date and I can see the file, right? And I can open the file as well by double click, or else I can go and I can do a cat also. See, my name is boss, so that's the file content and this is the path, and I can download it. By download they mean that you download to your local, and you can edit it, you can view as in binary, you can do all that stuff on this file, right? So I just collated few of the commands. See, whatever we do, right, like we do a cat or we do commands like that, Hadoop minus say we do ls, right, whatever we do in the Linux, the same thing we can do here, only putting the Hadoop command in the front, and then we can put the commands later on and do the likewise. So suppose I want to check, right, I will copy this. This is a very simple concept, but we need to understand this before we go into much deeper, right? So this, when I'm running, I am trying to check. One sec. Okay, it's because of that. So whenever we are trying to do like anything, right, later on scoop and all, we need to understand that there is this difference. There's a local and there's this other part, right? So that's how it is. See, I did that Hadoop fs minus ls, and I came to this where I can see that structures, all the structures which generally we do. So all of the commands which generally we do in the Linux world, right, same can be done. We can do copy from local, move from local. These, in place of what I did, right, I did a put, which I actually did this one. We can do this one, copy from local to Hadoop system, or else you can just move from local. Likewise, we can remove also with a remove command, and we can do a cat as we do normally, right, to see the details. All these I have just copied from some site, but I just wanted to pass this understanding that this is what we can do, right? So having this knowledge would help us go about later series where we see how where the data is moving and where it is moving to, right? So I'm keeping this video very short just to understand the basic, what is the difference between the file systems. That was the motto of this video, so probably that has been met, and you can play around with. There are lots of commands like this in the net, so you can just go play around with it and move files, do something, do a cat, do a property. You can just go ahead, right? Okay, so I will just be starting with the next command, next videos after this, and we will see the scoop working, and then Hive.